to Vadim Musayev, who was a good operator and beat him by a distance. Enormously impressive. Now on to the men's light heavyweight final, and I think this will be a very interesting one because it's between Alexey Alferov of Belarus. It was one of those fighters who I think everybody would have a kind of soft spot for, because he doesn't, compared to some others, typically look like your average boxer in terms of his physique necessarily. He's in good shape, but he's not hewn from granite, hewn from marble like some other fighters would appear to be, but boy, can he fight. And he's up against Robby Gonzales, who has been in some absolute wars in this tournament so far. Really has been. Here comes Alexey Alferov, who put in a tremendous performance against Saveli Sadoma of the Russian Boxing Federation to win his semi-final. Ron, you were chuckling away there as I was trying to diplomatically describe exactly why it is that Alfiorav just doesn't quite... If you met him in the street, you might think, he's not a boxer, is he? But he can fight. This man can fight.
He certainly has an everyman look about him, but so composed and relaxed in the boxing ring. He's a southpaw. He bends and weaves from the waist. He received a bye in the first preliminary round, picked up some of those facial markings and bruises against Croatia's 2020 Olympian Luka Plantic. Then he beat Mesam Heslagi of Iran in what was a foul-filled, hard-fought affair. Terrific performance where he got on the front foot about Kalen Cassidy, and then the aforementioned win against Saveli Sadoma, where he completely diffused the power-punching Russian national champion.
And I think this is going to be a really, really good fight. All the finals have been so far, but this one particularly kind of caught my eye. Gonzales has been a pleasure to watch. He's been in some thrilling fights. Odiljon Aslonov of Uzbekistan beat him on the split 3-2, stood close and just had it with him at the kind of range which you would have thought was very ill-advised. Got the win, and then in the semi-final against Vladimir Mironchikov of Serbia, again won on the split. I know the home federation would have loved to have protested that, but they didn't have any protests left. But for me, Gonzales won that fight, and I felt that was a decent decision, nothing wrong with it. So Alfierov looking for Belarus's first gold medal. Gonzales looking for the USA's second. From Las Vegas, that's a busy place this weekend, all sorts going on over there. Had one of the open workouts actually for upcoming pro shows at the City Athletic Boxing Club, which is where he boxes out of, Gonzales. So these two called to the centre. Touch of the gloves there, and you can see the damage to the face there of Alfierov, shades of the kind of battle scars we saw on the face of Petrovsky yesterday as he went into the super heavyweight finals. So we've got Alfierov in the red here, southpaw, Gonzales, USA blue. Gonzales likes that wide split stance. He can pop that jab from the outside. He's got very, very quick hands. Alfierov has got good reflexes, the ability to stay nice and loose and pop those punches off without really loading up on anything. So they've got quite differing styles, these two. Gonzales appears a lot tighter. Big left hand there from Alfierov. Puts him on his back in the opening 20 seconds or so. A rueful look on the face there of Gonzales. He was just trying to pull back out. He was exiting and caught by that left, and he's hit by it again there early on. And the referee's saying that was hit with the inside of the glove. The second one might have been. The first one wasn't. Jab there from Alfierov. Gonzales looking to hold on. He's buzzed here. He's in trouble. He needs to get his head clear. Nearly a minute into the first round. And what a start this has been from Alfierov. As I said, he's got good timing. He just slings those punches out there. A nice, easy, loose look about him. Left hand there again from the Belarusian. Gonzales, though, with a combination, but gets found by that left. He does have a little bit of a habit of keeping that chin high as he pulls out. Gonzales, something we've commented on in in previous fights. This is a terrific start from the boxer from the red corner. But what we know about Gonzales from having watched him over the last 2 weeks is that he has got a lot of heart, a lot of grit. He will dig in here, and he is capable of turning this around. Midway through round one, up to this point, it's been almost all Alfierov, but Gonzales with a combination on the inside. The man in red looking to shoot that southpaw jab up from the waist, just taps with it that time, and Gonzales looking for a couple of jabs. Alfierov just working those hands, finishes on a left to the body, doesn't punch with the same weight every time, but times that uppercut up the centre there. From low, whipped up through the guard, between those forearms. Again, just caught a little bit tall there, Gonzales, as he walks in, seemingly at the minute without too much of a plan, and he's been caught by Alfierov. And this has been a damaging opening round. They almost need in the USA corner just to get to the end of the round here. Gets caught by a stiff jab, left hand to the body. He did land a left hand to the body himself, Gonzales, before that. And he just keeps coming forward here, keeps walking forward. I don't think he's really recovered from that opening knockdown, to be honest with you. He's kind of fighting on instinct a bit here, Gonzales. Well, that's a tumble. No knockdown there. And what'll be interesting about the scoring at the end of this round, I would say, as we have a quick timeout right before the end of the first 3 minutes to tie up that bootlace. What'll be interesting about the scoring here is not who's won the round, because Alfierov has definitely won that round, just whether he's won that 10-8 with some of the judges or not. The knockdown, remember, doesn't mean that it will be 10-8. It's not pro boxing. It's 10-9, 10-8, 10-7, 10-9 for a close round win, 10-8 for a dominant round win, 10-7 for pure domination. Now, a knockdown doesn't necessarily mean that you've dominated a round. We all know that. You can get a flash knockdown. That was not a flash knockdown. That was a heavy knockdown early in the round, and I don't think he's quite even shaken it off yet. Gonzales not impressed by the lace-tying skills of the Belarus corner here, but this is actually probably quite good for him because it's giving him a bit more time as we look at that left hand again. He got back up quickly, and his legs did look fairly solid, but just from the way he's gone about things since then, I do think, as I said, he's been fighting through a bit of a fog and gets caught by a lead left hand there straight away. He's picked his punches beautifully here, Alfierov, locking on right from the opening seconds. And as I say, I think the debate here is not whether he's won that round, but whether it's 10-9s or 10-8s.
Indeed, that's what we're waiting to see. A terrific round of boxing. And he said his stall out early. I mentioned the fact that Alfierov, who is principally a back foot boxer, 10-9 across the board for all 5 scoring judges. So no 10-8s conceded by Gonzales, but he's principally a back foot boxer. Against Kalen Cassidy, he did get onto the front foot in the quarterfinals. He did that early on here, sent his man to the canvas, and then began to go on the back foot. And on the back foot, this man is very, very difficult to beat. But interestingly, after that lengthy intermission to tie the shoelace, he got back on the front foot when the 10-second clapper had sounded, and just to end the round, asserting his authority once again. And I mentioned the everyman look that he brings to the ring. His shorts are inside out. I'm not sure he's paying too much attention to what's going on here in a global final, but he's boxing beautifully.
I love that. I absolutely love that. The everyman look, that's so much better way of describing it than me at the start of the fight. Gonzales getting onto the front foot there at the start of round 2. He's going to need to go looking for Alfierov now. He did in that first round, and as I said, one thing we know about Gonzales, he's got high-level boxing ability too, but he's also got tons and tons of grit and heart, and he will keep coming forward here. But I just think that is going to play into the hands of the fighter in red, who just slings up a big lead right hand there and catches Gonzales on the way in, who's not really protecting that chin particularly as he walks in, as he walks forward. Left hand there from Gonzales was a decent shot. Gets through with a short left there too, but Alfierov, you get the feeling, is happy to have him just coming in there. The USA corner away to our right-hand side, just trying to bark out as much advice as they can get away with, really. Crowd on enjoying something there. I'm not sure exactly what that was. Left to the body from Alfierov. Changes the angle, steps off to his right. Does need to be careful about slapping, because he does do that every now and again. Throws those punches in from wide. Left to the body. I thought was pretty much bang on the bell line, to be honest. And it's a count here. This is the protocol. Whether the referee decides that was low or not, then you will get the count. But as I say, counts, knockdowns, in and of themselves, don't mean anything in terms of the scoring. Left hand off the ropes there from Alfierov, looking to pop the jab. Gonzales coming forward, finds him with a left hand. Just over a minute remaining in the first round, and Gonzales now complaining about the heads coming together. He's digging in here, Gonzales, in a way that not that many people can, quite honestly. Left to the body. And he's rolling forward, trying to bring some pressure to bear on Alfierov. And the referee just having a chat about holding. And you can see Gonzales there, he's almost pushing past the referee to get to Alfierov into this final minute. Left hand there from Gonzales was decent. Alfierov has picked and landed good shots again in this second round, but Gonzales always coming forward, has had some success. And I do think losing that first round 10-9s with no 10-8s, I think that was a bit of a result for him, to be perfectly honest with you. 30 seconds remaining, and still he just walks forward here, Gonzales. Left to the body. 1-2 there from Alfierov, then goes down to the body. Hands down, just manages to pull back out of the way. Right hand there from Gonzales, and he's just trying to dog this out, Gonzales. Left to the body, he does throw that well. Saw a lot of that in previous fights. Final few seconds of round two, there goes the bell, and that's an interesting round, I think, because Gonzales is rolling forward, Alfierov picks his punches well, but close one.
It's a terrific second round, because Gonzales really did come out and he hit Alfierov with some heavy punches to both head and particularly the body. But Alfierov must be a really disconcerting individual to fight, because irrespective of what you hit him with, his expression hardly changes. And there is confirmation of the better second round that Gonzales had. But from his perspective, only taking it for two of the judges. So that's two scorecards of 19 points apiece, three scorecards of 20 points to 18 in favor of Alfierov. But Alfierov not on the front foot in that second round as much as he was in the first. This is his preferred modality of boxing, but it brought Gonzales right back into it, but crucially from his perspective, only taking it for two of the judges.
He needed that third card. He really needed that third card, because now he's in that territory where he will have to win this fight around 10-8. Either that or a point deduction will need to go from Alfierov, who hits him with a right hand. And Gonzales, well, I've mentioned it countless times now, he's demonstrated to us throughout the course of this competition that he's got what it takes. When you talk about gut checks, I've seen him go through 2 or 3. He has that in his locker. He will never stop. And he got those 2 cards in that second round because he just kept coming forward. He was taking shots, but he kept coming forward. His defense isn't really where it should be. That's a result of what happened to him in the first round. A couple of good punches there from Gonzales, a left followed by a right. Alfierov just sticking with that jab and then steps off to his right. Got caught by quite a heavy left there. And he's just beginning to blow a little bit here, Alfierov possibly. Left to the body from Gonzales. A minute down, he sets his feet and just keeps punching. Alfierov just leans in. They both just kind of agree to have a little rest there. Then Gonzales pushes him off. Well, I didn't hear the call to break there either. Lanza left to the body. Catches up with Alfierov with a left hand there, Gonzales. He's winning this final round, the American, at the minute, because he's the one again on the front foot. There's not as much being thrown by Alfierov, who is looking increasingly quite drained. Having said that, a good little bit of upper body movement a few seconds ago. Not so much there. Got caught by a big left there from Gonzales. He's trying to get that head on the move on the inside there, Alfierov, but Gonzales tagged in there nice and clean. And I thought for a second, if he could have followed that up, then the Belarusian might have been about to go. Digs his toes in there, Alfierov. Finds the uppercut. Gonzales doesn't even blink and just walks forward. This is a fantastic fight. Has been right from its dramatic opening with that knockdown from the fighter in red. Gonzales again just sucks in some breath, walks forward, hands pretty low. lets that left hand go over the top, fires off a right hand lead. He doesn't care what angle he throws these from. Stoop low now, working to the body. And the referee just having a chat with Alfierov about holding. If he were to lose a point now, this could get very interesting. Again, Gonzales just trying to walk him down, catches him with a right and with a left. Alfierov, again, just falls in, grabs hold of his man. He's got to be careful because the referee has spoken to him a couple of times, but he made absolutely sure there that his arms weren't around the torso or the waist there of the USA fighter, who again just lets his hands go. Final 10 seconds. This has been absolutely magnificent from both of these two. Unbelievable fight all the way through. Final few seconds. There goes the bell. Gonzales raises his gloves. Alfierov is going to get that because he was 2 points clear with 3 of the judges going into that final round. And that third card, the fact that he won that second round 3-2, Ron, I think that's going to be absolutely crucial because the heat that Gonzales brought in that final round, I've been going on about it to the point of boring people to death, I'm sure, about the heart and the desire he's got. Having been knocked down heavy in the first round, he just doesn't know the meaning of the word backward step, and he very nearly turned that around.
Terrifically spirited display by Gonzales. But again, the fact that this man had a 20 points to 18 lead for 3 of the 5 scoring judges, I think is going to be the most significant and indeed the decisive factor here. But what a rally produced by Gonzales, just as he's done all throughout the tournament, just as he did yesterday in the semi-final, working the body mercilessly. Hard shots landed upstairs. But again, that is testament to Alfierov's toughness. Has he got the 10-8 rounds that he needs for any of the judges? I don't think he has, but let's get the official announcement. Remember, in the event that things are tied, we go to preference. Here's the verdict.
Gonzales gets it. Gonzales gets it. That is absolutely extraordinary. I'm just craning my head there to see what scores he has picked up in that final round. And it's a 28-28 with Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan scoring it 10-8 in the final round there. And that then became the crucial card. The Kazakhstan judge then has to cast their vote as to who they think has won the fight on balance. And the judge has gone with the blue corner. And Gonzales, that is absolutely incredible, incredible. I cannot overstate, Ron, in all the years that we've been doing this combined, I just cannot overstate just what an unbelievable comeback that is from Gonzales. After 25 seconds, he was flat on his back. I don't think he ever really shook that off, and he somehow managed to do it. A 10-8 in the final round, that will be the cause of some debate. I think this one, if they've got some protests left, I think that they will make on their Belarus. Amazing stuff.
Incredible performance. We said how spirited it was from Robby Gonzales. This is how he goes about his work. He was putting it on Alfierov and wearing him out throughout that third and final round. Never stopped pressing, never stopped coming. Alfierov had that 2 points of insurance for 3 of the 5 judges, but we did ponder the point. If a 10-8 score is returned and it goes to an even score, then preference will be the tie-breaking criteria. And that's exactly what transpired with the judge from Kazakhstan, and the asterisk denoting preference for the boxer in the blue corner, and a terrific turnaround, come from behind victory from Robby Gonzales of the United States of America, who has showed immense fighting spirit, never knowing when he's beaten, and continuing to drive forwards, and that desire, aligned with his ability, has seen him take top spot on the rostrum. As you said, could well be subjected to a bout review.
I think it almost certainly will be, because going into that final round, Alfierov had a 20-18 lead with 3 judges. The other 2 were 19 apiece. Now, Gonzales won that final round with all the judges So that converted the two 19-19s in his favour, but one judge gave him 10-8, and